I just want to first of all apologise in advance for my French pronunciation in about 3 of these poems. Yeah, it doesn't Irish accent, French accent, which is very well foresighted.
Speak up, please.
Oh,
Go a bit closer to mine.
hello. I want to apologise for my lack of volume and French pronunciation. This first poem is set in France, and I just want to have like a short preamble so everyone sort of gets the joke in case they don't get a joke. It's not a personal story that happened to me, it's a story that happened to one of my close friends about she ate too many plums and she shit herself. Which is why I wanted to preamble and say that it didn't happen to me. So this is plums in Marseille. On the first day we found the plum tree, it seemed like a gift from God. We had requested assistance that morning as we ate raw oats soaked in UHT. Our coffers digested thoroughly by Carrefour, Beaujolais and Bordeaux. It was hiding in the gridwork of alleys, a simple sophistication that left us lost each afternoon as we followed the French towards twinkly street gas. The fruit was ripe and warm as I rolled 2 in my hand like Chinese bathing balls. On the second day, they tasted just as sweet and bitter with their adolescent skins. We were less hesitant this time, convinced of the fruit's divine provenance, despite the trunk's own origin behind a 6-foot garden wall. On the third and fourth day, the low-hanging plums grew few and far between. We enlisted our tallest friend to pluck them, giraffe-like from the branches. French children hovered, waiting for the chance to clamber up and pilfer our homely fruit. On the fifth and final day, we had no choice but to climb up and hang from the bough. We pulled off 3, 4 at a time, catching them in our skirts as they fell. We sat and ate half at once, kept half in our bag for the promenade to the Grand Carrefour, to stock up on tins of cassoulet and sticks of saucisson. In the air-conditioned hangar, we felt the twinge. I looked for the toilette, praying all the while for clemency and a whole bouquet of Rollo de Bois. This next poem is called Rooze Noir. Would it do just to remember the looks of the people walking by, rather than an imagined frame of us two sitting in the shade playing backgammon and drinking our second carafe of pink wine? If I must enshrine this portrait, perhaps I should apply a hazy tint of collected nicotine, lacquered after 40 years hanging on the wall of some pretend French sports bar, not unlike the one where we drank some pretentious Belgian beer and huddled outside smoking barbecue-flavoured rollies, and you told me a secret that had been said in every sentence leading up to it that week. But if I was forced to preserve one person's gaze, let it be Leon's that evening when he came upon us on the steps, looking down the valley, plodding like the pair of black red starts rustling in the eaves. This one is called Sex, and it was kind of a joke that I made with myself that nobody else gets. That everything is about sex. I couldn't really think of an appropriate title, so this one is called Sex. A clandestine glance through the sash window is enough to satisfy my suspicions about their crockery cupboard. Yes, it is full to the top with cups, saucers and plates, collected and purchased with an eye so keen and discerning that even stacked unevenly they seem turned to a magnification of 10. I imagine their cutlery drawer and its Hattington shrapnel of stainless steel and vintage silver. I bet they have at least one copper pot and a steel enamel saucepan for hot chocolate. I'm not jealous. This is another French one. This is Marseille. He had created a type of 3D paint, was one of the first things he told us. As we followed him upstairs to his plant-filled apartment, we decided he was lying. It wasn't long until he told us about Mexico. He was kidnapped by cartels, held hostage for weeks. His father and grandfather were mercenaries in the French Foreign Legion. He introduced us to his 3 passport dog, 4 French girls, and his pal from Belgium. Every day there were new visitors. The Belgian was the last man in the house. When we woke up to find him tucking us in, we realised he actually didn't sleep. Each night he tried to persuade a new girl into his bed. The Germans were more easily led, the French a severe no. He spoke French with an American accent, had the physique of a young Adonis, and described to us in detail how he used to build bombs. We were taught about an old style of torture while we sat in a drain fountain. Among the graffiti we learned that if you swallow a button and pull it back up, your body evacuates everything north and south. 6 months later, he called me in the middle of the night. I didn't pick up, but remembered the paintings he showed us before we left, the faces lighting up and leaping out. And this is the last poem. This is set in Donegal and is called Looking for the Big House. Having reversed back up 2 drives flanked by parish dogs, doing their duty by barking and nipping at the wheels of my father's car, gone mouldy inside with 1 door that only closes when you slam it just right. We decided we had been searching along the wrong side of the road. We followed a loop that passed both the field my mother said she leave to one of us, and the beach we sat on as children, now manned by rows of mussel cages, an industry for the profit of only 1 man. The shore front of my ancestral town had long died when the factories moved out, leaving brown buildings overshadowing a once attractive promenade. Those who complained received brown letters in the post, and not the bribing kind. The big house was on sale for a pittance with fire damage. A neighbour told us that half the country had been down to look at his 5-bedroom glory with a sea view. As we turned down towards the roofscape, a woman emerged from her bungalow, spray paint can in hand, to colour her creeping juniper gold. Thank you very much.